Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and at long last we are here, the season 13 finale of Doctor Who, the finale of Flux, the Flux finale. This, I think, and it's definitely not only because not only because of the once a week thing, but I think also definitely because of like just how short this series is, like only 6 episodes long. It pretty much flew right by. It has gone by so quickly. I've barely been able to notice, like it seems like only a couple of weeks ago that Flux actually started and things actually started happening and everything, but I think if you put into account just how much has happened and exactly what's happened, then it actually feels like a much, much longer period of time and everything, but still, it being 6 episodes long and I think it having started I think just at like the beginning of this month or like the like halfway through last month, it's definitely or at least I think like it started like around Halloween, like the first episode literally premiered on Halloween itself. So it's been like a a month at least. I think it's safe to say it's actually felt like an accurate month long kind of thing. So yeah, but yeah, the Flux finale. So after this, I think after this we have these specials coming with Jodie, like a series of specials, and then finally she regenerates and we got a new Doctor. So that's happening. But but yeah, I am seriously have high hopes for this finale, especially with the last episode having been as packed as it was and having as much going on as it did, and this entire series actually having as much going on as it has. I'm really excited to see what this finale holds and what it might tease for like any special thing. I don't think we're getting a Christmas special because they have not teased that in any shape or form. So I don't think we're getting a Christmas special or even a New Year special for that matter. So I think anything we might get may well be just kind of over the course of 2022 at some point. So yeah. So yeah, I think the last episode we had Tech Tae-yoon back. We met Tech Tae-yoon again. She was the woman. She was the old woman that had actually threatened the Doctor before, and she was now the newly elected leader of Division. And we saw Division 2. Division is like a literal space station in the void between universes. Like it actually rests in the gap between universes in the multiverse and everything. And there's a multiverse too. They confirm that there's actually a multiverse. So that's the thing, and the Flux is here to actually try and take out the Doctor and the universe within it too, because otherwise it disrupts all the Division's kind of plans and their operations, because it's exactly what the Doctor would stand against, and it's exactly what the Doctor would try and take down. So the universe and the Doctor within it is under the process of being being taken out and stuff. So there's that. And then Yaz, Dan, and Jericho were actually traveling throughout time at their own speed and actually trying to track down some clues as to the date of when the ultimate kind of war for Earth in the middle of the Flux would actually happen. So that's when the enemies would converge on Earth and try and take it over and make it their own and everything. So that's happening. So they did that thing. So that kind of thing was going on. And then Swarm and Azure came by and they killed Tech Tae-yoon. In the end. They found their way to Division and they killed Tech Tae-yoon, and then now they're gonna, I think, maybe try and take on the Doctor and do that kind of stuff. So Tech Tae-yoon's gone now, so the Division's plans probably won't go through, but I guess we'll have to just kind of wait and see what happens on that front. So and then, yeah, the Doctor's memories are in a fob watch too. The Doctor's memories are all collected in a fob watch and stuff, so there's that. And that will include her memories from Division and who she was before and all of her lives from before there. Basically everything that Division actually wiped out before she became who she is now. So there's that too. But yeah, that is pretty much all I can remember, and plus the live stream is happening, so it's gonna come up soon, so I want to be ready for that. But yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a finale, gonna be an absolute hell of a finale, so I can't wait to see exactly what happens. So yeah, I will see you guys when the reaction actually starts, when the episode starts and everything. So that will be this will just be the fair use version as per usual, but if you want the full length one, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go catch that over there. So yeah, I will see you when the episode starts.
Get your hands in the air.
Kate!
Madam, who are you?
How did she end up here?
Human resistance against Sontaran occupation.
Human resistance against Sontaran operation.
Kate Stewart.
That's Min! Oh, that's Min! Right off the bat, first 10 minutes, first 5-10 minutes. Oh god, right off the bat. The Vanquishers. Oh, okay. The Vanquishers.
We now offer the possibility of
An understanding.
An understanding.
Negotiation.
Negotiation.
To all others.
Dark energy chimera. Or camera. Chimera, I think it's chimera. Yeah.
The dark energy camera facility developed here by the humans.
Oh, camera,
is
not chimera,
highly
camera.
adequate for our
Yeah, that's what they called it, camera and chimera in the Sontaran episode. Oh, that was a cool looking shield. Yeah.
Where you will be imprisoned, interrogated, and gleefully executed.
Oh, her memories. Oh, where has she been? Is she gonna see? Oh, is she gonna see that house again? The floating, conjoined house. Yeah, that building thing. What is this?
I'll take it slow.
Oh, he's disintegrating them all. That's not slow. That's not. In what universe is that slow?
I could do this.
Oh, he's just gonna keep on doing it, dismantling and rebuilding, disintegrating and rebuilding.
You okay? I am now. How long has it been for you two?
Uh,
A few years.
a few years.
I missed you.
I missed you too. Thanks for the hologram. Mad Mole of Edge Hill.
Mad Mole.
I always wanted to meet you.
The
You're
Mad
on
Mole of
list.
Edge Hill.
It's a big list. More of a book. More of a series of books. Well, a small library. Anyway,
Library.
Tell me everything.
The
I'm
short
distracted,
version.
I can't get a word in.
Well, I was inspecting the start of...
I love 13. I love her so much.
We would be vulnerable on the surface, so I endeavored to build a city under the earth.
Uh,
Protect as many of us as possible. I was mocked.
Oh, the Flux wipes out entire planets, so underground stuff wouldn't be that useful.
I'm fine.
Oh, she's faithful.
I'm a bit scared.
Please, at least hold hands. Hold hands before she disappears. Hold hands. At least get that in there. Oh, he wants Oh, he's fully robbing the corner shop. He is fully robbing the corner shop and just stuffing his face full of candy. Is that the same guy who wanted to ride a horse? So that's why they invented the Crimean War. The Crimean War.
Your delicious mouth snacks wrapped in paper will never weaken us.
Oh, mood. What a mood. What a fucking mood. Maybe three more.
Maybe even the recipe. You could make it yourself. If you transport them to Sontaran Psychic Command.
Oh god, his eyes. His eyes. Unlimited chocolate. The recipe.
Chocolate.
Oh my god. That's Sontaran obsessed with chocolate. By far one of the best things. By far one of the best things in this season.
Were you my companion?
He used to be a companion. He used to travel with the doctor.
I can't talk because it would kill me.
Literally? Is there some kind of bomb in your head or
I
like
have a
a...
synaptic collider implanted in my brain.
Oh.
If I talk about it, the collider will inject poison
Oh
directly
yeah,
into
there's
my brain.
literally
I'll be
something
dead
in his
3
head.
seconds.
Oh, for
Division.
fuck's sake.
Put that in your head.
Well, you left me.
Oh no.
I don't have the...
No, her memories were taken away. Yeah.
I put the whole universe between us, and you come crashing back in as if nothing had ever happened.
Oh no, Carvanista. Oh no. Don't make me feel things now. Oh. He actually used to be a hardcore companion. He used to travel with the doctor.
It's an obsession.
She likes to save people.
You
She
want
likes
to
to
keep things
save.
alive.
Yeah.
You want creatures to breathe.
There's a balance to the universe. It exists that way for a reason.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
We stop it, wind it back, and watch it again
Oh.
and again.
Oh, they're gonna put the universe destruction on a loop. They're gonna watch the universe be torn apart over and over again.
Because that is what you did to us.
See,
Oh, Jewel.
you are the universe, Doctor.
Oh, he's gonna do it to the doctor?
The last of the Lupari. How you must mourn them.
The last of the what?
Airlocked out into space. Their bodies now scatter the space lanes. Cost of resistance to Sontaran might.
Oh no.
Carvanista.
Oh, Carvanista. His people are all dead. The Lupari are all dead. Oh, Carvanista, I'm so... Oh no.
I'm gonna kill every last Sontaran. I look forward to the conflict.
Oh no. Oh, that's actually heartbreaking. Oh. Oh. Oh god, the howling. Oh no. Poor Carvanista. Oh.
That's blaster action.
Oh.
Where'd you train?
Laser Quest was Ackley.
That'll work. Yeah, with an actual laser blaster this time. That'll work.
I figured systems have a purpose, and if they're buried, it's to prevent interference. So, I interfered.
You should teach at the academy.
She's you know, actually picked up a few things. Yeah, that's cool. That is good. Yeah, her first episode back and she's actually doing some significant things. Yeah.
What is it you want us to do?
Our quantum readers
They're gonna plug him into the Matrix?
And the reward for success?
Yeah, either way you die. Oh boy. Oh no. How much can Jericho hold? How much can Jericho take?
Grand Servant.
Is that what your parents called you? Oh, look, darling. So cute.
It was a title bestowed on.
Are you?
Oh no.
Try and kill me right now.
Oh no, he's got the snake in her.
Don't species. I'm not.
Oh yeah, no, she's not there. So would it not work properly
Across
then?
3 places.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, another doctor.
You're cute. So are you.
The doctor flirting with herself, that's a new one.
There's 2 of you.
Yeah, 2 doctors. What's going through your head right now, Yaz?
Yonder. I've got such a crush on her.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. Bell.
Thank you.
Take
Wait,
me.
Child tech. Are you having it?
All right. We don't need to announce it.
Oh, so it's like a baby monitor then. It's like a baby monitor.
The primary material. Antimatter.
Antimatter, yep, antimatter.
And channeled in.
The crisis of the flux.
Acceleration system.
Yeah. Oh.
We can't hold on to this split existence much longer.
Maybe you have to manifest yourself physically then in 3 separate bodies. Bring us the 313s. Bring us the 313th Doctors. Give it to us.
Too much for her. A quiet human irrelevance.
Might easily be one of the harshest burns Sontaran has delivered. Human irrelevance. Yeah.
Refreshment?
A refreshment. Oh, how nice. Oh. What is that?
I need to stop them.
Vindran? Vindran, no. Oh, yeah, Diane and Dan and Di. Oh, Dan and Vin at long last. It took an entire series. It literally took an entire season for them to be reunited. Oh.
Matter slows antimatter down. Put enough in its way and it stops and ceases to exist.
Exactly.
Really? Oh. So if you overpower antimatter with enough matter.
Now, need to
Great. That's a new crew. That's a new companion crew. Oh, the Daleks. Yeah, the Daleks. And the Cybermen. All of them teleporting in. It is a betrayal. Yeah, a very cold-blooded betrayal. That too. It's like the ultimate punchline for a prank. Yeah, you're all gonna die now, Santa. Aha.
This is for my people.
Yeah, you get him, Carvanista. You get him. You get him.
This is Serving Commander.
Oh, Vinda.
Blasting the hell out of your comm system.
Yes, that's my boy. That's Vinda.
I can't get the TARDIS in because of the pull of the flux.
No.
I've lived more in my time with you than
Are we about to lose Jericho?
who has had a life like mine.
Oh, no, Jericho. Are we really about to lose Jericho?
Nameless human.
Oh, no, the Flux is going to take out Jericho as well. Oh, no. Professor.
What an awfully big adventure.
Oh. Oh, R.I.P. Professor Jericho. Oh, he was amazing. He was amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Claire. He was incredible in the time that he was in. R.I.P. Jericho. The passenger form. There we go. Yeah, the passenger form. Now empty too. There's no one else in there, so now it's just matter. Finally having a positive use. Finally having a positive use for its endless existence and space inside. In the timeless child.
Your failure in my services.
Oh, is he gonna kill Sorman Azure? Oh, is he gonna trap them again? Is he gonna imprison them again? Oh, is he actually rewarding them, or was that death? Because he said failure, so I think I get death vibes.
I fancy that coat.
Oh yeah, yeah. The same
ego
thing with
filthy works
Ruth.
now.
Yeah, when she was in Ruth's memories.
My turn now, is it? Your time is heading to its end.
Oh no, the end of 13. Oh no, don't do that to me. No, I don't want to hear that now. I do not want to hear that. I don't want to be hearing that right now. No.
No regeneration.
No regeneration.
No life.
No life.
And their master.
And the master.
What do you mean, their master?
Their master.
I restore you, Doctor.
The forces of evil and their master. Oh, so 3 become 1 again. 3 become 1. Okay, just the one doctor now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy, what's this? Where is this? Oh, he's in space. Oh damn. Oh, he's been exiled. Oh, he's just stuck on a floating rock in space.
We'll leave you to it.
Okay, have fun. Oh. They've got like an extra family member on the way.
Always glad to help.
I like this regeneration. Hope I meet it again.
I hope so too.
Yes, give me Kate and 13. More Kate and 13, please.
Done?
Oh, is he still not allowed to work at the museum, is
I'll
he?
leave yous. Have a nice evening. I wasn't late. It wasn't my fault.
Maybe not tomorrow. I'd better.
Yeah, just give her time to process. She's been through so much. You both have. Just actually take time to process everything that's gone on, and then once things feel a bit more normal, then go for it.
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't let you in. I was looking for information about me. A life I never knew.
My heart is pounding right now. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I want to tell you everything.
Tell her. Tell her. Open up.
Did you say left or right?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dan.
Come on, Scouse. Let Yorkshire show you the way.
Dan, you simple instructions, Dan. Simple instructions. Simple instructions. God damn it. My heart was pounding the entire time, and it gets interrupted by that. Really. Just, nah. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Is she gonna get rid of the fob watch? Does she really not want those memories? Or does she have them?
Keep this safe. Somewhere I can never find it.
Oh, she doesn't want the memories. Oh, even that theme in the background. Oh, damn.
Unless I really ask for it.
Oh, huh. Oh, damn. Oh, New Year's Day. Oh, yeah, Superman and Lois is on BBC iPlayer 2 now, so that's cool. Okay, or do I want to watch the preview? Do I want to watch the preview? Do I really want to watch the preview? Do I want to watch the preview? Should I watch the preview? I don't know. I don't think so. No. It will come out on YouTube anyway, so yeah, I'll probably just watch it then. No, I'm gonna watch it. No, I'm not gonna watch the preview. No, I want to be surprised. Oh my god. Okay. That was a culmination. So, yeah. The finale of the Flux. And I believe, this is the final season. This is 13's her actual final season too. So they definitely, I think very, very briefly, they kind of took advantage of that too. That would be her final season, like in terms of dialogue and writing and everything. So there was that. But yeah, no, it seemed very climactic. It's meant to. It's definitely meant to. But it just seemed very climactic. It didn't really kind of. I don't know. I think it may well be because of the fact that it, like Doctor Who nowadays. I think partially, at least mostly due to COVID and due to those kinds of schedules and things being rearranged and stuff being put on hold and stuff like that. I think it definitely because that and maybe even other things that, you know, like Doctor Who now, it seems like a bit more of a scarcity in terms of actual quantity and stuff, and as well as in terms of actual consistency. Like, it actually just it comes like once a year and in such short kind of supply too. Like, and again, like we it definitely feels like we actually used to get a lot more in terms of actual episodes and season lengths and everything. So now with this one, I think, and I mean, again, with this one, like, there was no misleading whatsoever. Like, from the beginning, they said this is going to be like a 6-episode limited run kind of short run, like a no filler whatsoever kind of story. It's going to get straight to the point. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet, and short and sweet it was. So yeah, but I think this definitely feels like an end, and it just feels so weird to call it that too. Like, it like 6 episodes and we've already reached like through the end. And I think it's definitely been like a super duper interesting story too. I think this has easily been some of if not Chibnall's best work on this show. Like, you know, people, I think nowadays, at least nowadays in the fandom, there's literally no shortage of people constantly chastising or criticizing or just bashing on Chibnall's work, and, you know, saying this, that, and the other, and saying that he, you know, like his work isn't good. But I think with Flux, I think now, like, most people, like even the people, even some of the people who were actually bashing on him before, are saying like, okay, now this is actually enjoyable, this is actually good and stuff. I mean, you obviously get like that still kind of, it very much exists in kind of minority of people saying like, oh yeah, I don't like this, I just want to go back to the way things were and stuff like that. But I think you know, like, at least some of the people who were criticizing him before, and I think criticizing is fine too. I mean, yeah, I mean, as long as it's actually like, you know, like constructive, or it's like, you know, I mean, even if you personally didn't enjoy it, then I guess, you know, that's just, you know, to each their own. Like, some people are gonna enjoy it, some people aren't. But then there's the people relentlessly bashing on him, and also just, you know, like complaining about things now that have always existed, but then things now, like, you know, various things now, like, you know, like different kind of storylines. And I mean, to this day, the Doctor being a woman now still pisses people off for whatever reason. Like, there's literally no logical reason that the Doctor being a different gender should actually piss you off in any shape or form. But, you know, I mean, from the day that was announced, people were doing it, and then now, even with Jodie in the limelight, you know, people are still annoyed and being like, you know, oh, you know, the Doctor should go back to being a man, or whatever. So that pisses people off. And then some storylines with themes and stuff that they've done countless times before have all of a sudden become a problem. So now it's, you know, some people do genuinely have some kind of criticisms and some arguments worth listening to and worth maybe considering, but others are just, you know, it's just like talking to a brick wall. So yeah, but this season, I think again, vast majority of people this season can kind of safely admit and confirm that this has been some of Chibnall's best work on the show. Like, Flux has been non-stop action and drama and story and just some great content from start to finish. And I think, again, that is also one of the benefits. I mean, it's definitely one of the benefits of having something, because I mean, I'd say it's one of the benefits of having a shorter season, but it's like, you know, I mean, and it's true, it can definitely be true, because I think, especially if you go like the actual, like the usual, like network TV route with some other, like cable shows that go, like, they easily stretch up to like 20-25 episodes. Like, with those ones, you undoubtedly get a lot more filler, because then the main story only actually encapsulates like a handful of those episodes, and then half the season, or at least like in like 3/4 of the season, might be actual story, and then one is actually just kind of filler episodes that are literally just there to kind of fill in the gaps, or to fill in that kind of slot on the actual network schedule and everything. So because of that, people, I think because of that, people kind of fall out of love with the shows too, because then there's too much filler, or the filler is just kind of really pointless, or stuff like that. So there's that. But then I think with some shows actually do opt for like much shorter seasons too, like 15 to 20 or 10 to 15 sometimes. So then that kind of works out well for them. And then in this case, you know, I think 1 to 10 like 0 to 10 episodes too. Like, I think especially like streaming services now, they're like they do that kind of thing, like, you know, like 0 to 10 episodes that really kind of help to cover the story and go through with that. So, you know, I think it's weird for Doctor Who, because Doctor Who, I mean, it's still a cable show, it's still on TV, and it's also now available on demand. But with Doctor Who, like, you know, I pretty much grew up with it being like a much lengthier kind of seasonal show. Like, it actually used to have like 15 to 20 episodes from what I remember. I think I really should actually go back and actually check the episode like list at some point. But from what I remember, it did like run for a lot longer, a lot lengthier kind of season. So I kind of grew up with that kind of a schedule, and then with that kind of like a seasonal span and everything. So now come up with this, and it's like I'm so used to like actual streaming services, like actual streaming shows, like stuff on Netflix, and now even stuff on Disney Plus. Like, you know, all the Marvel Disney Plus shows have been really much shorter episodes, and like Star Wars stuff and all those kind of shows, like those are exclusively streaming stuff too. So it's designed for you to actually kind of sit down and casually watch it. And it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think with Netflix, I think they kind of have, like, they were pretty much like the pioneers of actually sitting at home and just binging through like an entire, like, all-in-one release kind of thing. And then now Disney Plus are doing the whole streaming thing, but then they still do the whole thing where it's one episode a week. So with this one, with this one being like an actual network show, it's kind of stranger, but you know, it still kind of, you know, it still kind of makes sense. And I think, again, it's like, it's exactly what they said it was going to be. So, like, it's just been nothing but honesty from them. So, I guess it's just, like, something that actually just takes time to get used to, and it takes time to actually adapt to and everything. So, there's that. But regardless, I mean, what they've done, I think, with Flux too, I think it's like, you know, there are definitely some aspects that I figure that, you know, like, I'm like, if they had pushed it up to 10 episodes, perhaps if they had done at least 10, I feel like there are some aspects of this actual season that would have actually done so much better, and actually would have performed so much better story wise and character wise and stuff. And them doing it in 6 episodes, I think, I don't know if they actually wanted to do 6, or if they actually felt like they had to reduce it to 6. I think, again, because of COVID too, like they're on like a limited time crunch, so they probably had to come up with something, and then the best they could do was actually a 6-episode limited run kind of season before moving on to whatever else they've got planned to. So either way, it was still super enjoyable. It was still super duper enjoyable, and I think it's, you know, again, like it's really just flown by. Like, it just feels like a couple of weeks ago when I actually started watching this show, watching the season. So feels weird in that sense, but still good, still short but sweet, still short but oh so very sweet. So that's been really fun. That's been fun. And I think especially, I think the way, I mean, I literally, because I think my one of my wallpaper monitors is literally Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I was trying to think of a show, like, you know, what show do I know that actually goes up to like 20 or so episodes and then actually still manages to do something good. I was thinking, what show? Because then sometimes I even forget just how many episodes that show has, and then I actually looked at my monitor and I saw Daisy in all of her glory, and then everything. So then I remembered, oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from season 1 to now, I don't know. I think I heard somewhere that the later seasons have like less and less, so they actually decided to actually cut down on some of the episodes, less, like a little bit less down, like down the later seasons. I don't know when that starts, but I think for the most, I think from where I'm standing, or rather sitting right now, from seasons, I think season 5 has 20 as well. I think season 5 might have 20, but season 1 to 4 and possibly even 5, it's had 0 to 20, like 22 episodes per season, and they've nailed it. They have nailed it. I think every now and then they might have a filler, but then even that filler will have fillery aspects. Like, it will be a story heavy, it will be a story kind of story driven episode with filler aspects too. So I think there's like every episode has something to offer. With that one, that I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a prime example of a show that knows exactly what it's doing, and it knows how to do it. Also, then with them, it's like you might go into it with some trepidation or some kind of hesitance, like seeing how big the seasons are and thinking, oh my god, it's going to be like another one of those shows that, you know, half of it's filler and the other stuff is actually important. But no, pretty much literally every episode in that season is important. Even season 4 as well. Season 4 just being as packed and like being the roller coaster that was, like that one had 22 episodes, but then each kind of like it was actually split up into you know, thirds of a season and stuff. So each kind of like each like every like 8 or 9 episodes actually was like literally following like a different arc and different seasons. So like one literally led into the other, and then it all, like season 4, you know, I think season 4, if you want to look, if you want proof that, you know, with the right team behind the show, then a 20-episode season can work. Look at season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what they did with that season, the way it worked, the way it unraveled itself, the way it flowed, the way it actually got executed. My god, once I finish S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm gonna go back and do a rewatch of the entire thing, obviously. But season 4, I think it is easily the rewatch I'm looking forward to the most, because I think so much happened in it, but then it's like it just kind of flows so effortlessly. It's like they know exactly what they're doing with it, they know exactly what they want to do and stuff. So I think a 20 kind of 22 episode kind of run for a season of a show can work if the people behind the scenes actually know what they're doing, and if they know what they want to do, and if they actually have like that kind of like a strong enough idea, and they actually have a strong enough team to help them execute that idea too, then it can easily work. So I think with Doctor Who, that's what it's been like before, but I think now, maybe due to budget or due to scheduling or due to COVID, either way, like because of something, or maybe like it could also just be like their own choice to actually like do. I think with Chib knowing maybe he actually did want to actually try out like a much shorter kind of season and story this time around, so it definitely worked and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, we had the 3 Doctors. That one, I think. Well, I mean, we kind of had. I mean, at most, in terms of actual physical manifestation, we had the 2 Doctors, and the third one never really reunited with them. The third one was still in division. So we had the 3 Doctors. One of which was in the Wait, where were they? One was in the division. One was, I think, with on the Carbonesis ship. One was on Carbonesis ship, and then the other one was in tunnels. I think that kind of like so she was actually I mean, I think in terms of actual kind of in terms of perspective, like the way she saw things, the way she actually saw the environment and stuff, like I think her perspective was actually shifted. Like her body was still, I think, probably in like 2 or 3 like 3 different places at once, but then her actual which body she saw things through and which body she actively and more prominently experienced things through was actually kind of shifting and phasing in and out of actual reality and everything. So, and plus the fact that she was actually manifesting from in and out of the universe, I think it was like a whole thing that, you know, even she said broke many laws of pretty much everything that ever existed. So it was a very, very complex kind of thing. But that happens, and then we had that, and then the 3 Doctors. So I think, I mean, I was fully expecting, we might get like an actual 3 Doctors versus Swarman as your 3 Doctors versus Sontarans. I think that like that kind of thing, like an actual surprise kind of 3 Doctors thing, especially except it's not like an actual crossover of different timeline Doctors, but it's actually 3 versions of the exact same incarnation, kind of, you know, working together to do that thing. Kind of like how we got like two 10s in like Journey's End and everything. So we had that. But I mean, we had 2 Doctors in that too. We just like in that one, we had 2 Doctors in this. And then I mean, the Doctor flirting with herself. I think on the one hand, it's a very, very doctory thing to do. You know, I think that like the Doctor. I mean, At least in New Who, I think I'm not too sure about Classic Who or like how those interactions have gone down with the previous kind of crossovers, but I think at least in New Who, the Doctor has always somewhat been one to kind of admire themselves and actually, you know, to actually kind of like see how each new regeneration looks and sounds and moves, and seeing how like their future is like, you know, like the future incarnation actually remembering what they used to look like, and then the past one thinking, oh, so this is what I look like in the future. Okay, not bad. But then with 13 ended up actually crushing on herself. 13 actually ended up actually having a crush on herself, a very visible crush, and just, you know, just endlessly flirting with herself and everything. So. Yeah, I mean, I know people are just gonna be like, oh, so this is how it ends, you know, the Doctor, like 13, flirting with herself, true love at last, just quoting 11 and stuff, and, you know, God only knows what was going on I mean, first Yaz gets her back, gets the Doctor back in the tunnels, and then she's just lost for words and speechless, because then the Doctor just appears out of nowhere and everything, so that's like the briefest Tasman reunion, and then she climbs aboard I think it was a Sontaran ship, and then she actually actually runs into 2 Doctors. So then, you know, like God only knows what's going on in her mind. So yeah, but yeah, the Tasman reunion. Oh, the Tasman reunion. It was so brief, and I think especially like the way that they reunited, like the time and place where they reunited, not really the ideal place for an actual lengthy, drawn out kind of softcore kind of reunion, but it's more like a very, very simple hug and a hi. How have you been? It's been a long time. I've really missed you. Thank you for the hologram. I use that to, you know, satiate my, you know, desires every night and everything, and it's just like this her using that to her having listened to that over and over again on repeat for like the last few years, and everything. Even them saying like, you know, it's been a few years since they saw her, and they've actively aged and traveled 2 times. I mean, they have aged that time. I think I mean, it was only a few years, not like 20-30 years into the future and everything, but it was sort of like a good few years. I think like they actively lived through the first few years of the 1900s. So So yeah, that happened. So yeah, the Tasman reunion was a very brief but very, very kind of bittersweet. I think definitely kind of like definitely left you hoping for and wanting for like a more kind of fleshed out one at the very end, which we mostly got. At the very end, but I mean, we need to talk, right? We need to talk about that ending between Yaz and 13. Like, come on now. Come on. Like, I don't, God, it's actually just, I don't even know what the word is. It's aggravating. It's agitating. It's a very agitating thing. That ending was very like Dan jumping at the end. Dan, she gave you simple ass instructions. I know it's a TARDIS and it's got endless corridors and mazes, but still, use your own. You've been here an entire season. You should be picking things up by now. You should know the TARDIS is probably going to be like a swirly whirly maze of endless fuckery and everything. Use your initiative. Use your intuition. Just try and find a fucking door. Or at least just like go hang out in the kitchen or something until one of them comes to find you something. Just, do your own thing. Try and find your own bedroom for once. Just leave them to they have like you have been with Yaz pretty much the entire season. Okay, she needs her moment with the Doctor. She needs a moment alone with the Doctor. They need to actually reconcile and to reminisce and do that thing again. Just Dan, I love you, but still, that ending was that ending was stepping on the line. You very nearly crossed the line. I was stepping on the line and you nearly crossed it, but but yeah, they had the most beautiful, most heartfelt, softest of moments. They had something really amazing going on, and I think it definitely was reconciliation. The Doctor actually finally apologizing and actually acknowledging that she shouldn't have kept Yaz in the dark, and she should have let her in, and she should actually spoken to her and actually let her know what's going on. Because again, no doubt Yaz is not going to have any answers that she wants. She's not going to be able to tell her what she needs to hear. But then she could probably tell her what she needs to hear in terms of actual support. But then she's not going to have any answers. She's not going to be able to give her any other kind of complex answers that she actually desires. But then Yaz is still there. She's still in her corner, and Yaz has made it very clear that she's in the Doctor's corner and that she wants to be there for the Doctor and that she wants to actually be her confidant and the ears for her to talk into and everything. Like she wants to be there. She wants to be that. And the Doctor is her person and she wants to be the Doctor's person. So, or at least 13's person. So just they were so close. They were close, and my heart was pounding. I was pretty sure my heart was just about to jump out of my ribcage or something, and just start collapsing on my table or something. Just like my heart was pounding so hard. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna happen. I was like, okay, just let it happen. Just let it happen. You both have been through a lot, and this is where it's led you, and you've been together for so long too. So this is, it's only natural. But alas, they just had to have Dan jump in, and just God damn it. So we get the barest of Tasman. We get the barest of Tasman. I think this entire season is just Tasman being separated and being away from each other, and then to begin with, it's the Doctor and Yaz actually being distant, and the Doctor being distant and cold and closed off, and then Yaz trying to reach out and trying to get it to open up, and then she disappears, and they're separated for years on end, and then they're reunited, and now this finale is actually 10 episodes, and it would have happened. I'm telling you, 10 episodes, and it would have happened. It would have actually happened. It would have absolutely happened. So, that New Year special had better be the strongest of Tasman episodes we ever had, or at least one of the specials in the coming either the New Year special or the specials that are sprinkled throughout 2022. They better be so Tasman heavy that the fandom can't handle it. They better be so heavy. Just God damn it, we deserved more than this. We deserved better than this. We deserved so much better. But again, it wasn't the absolute worst. It wasn't the absolute it's not like they brushed it aside completely like some networks would have, like another network would have. It's not like they actually brushed it aside or just refused to acknowledge it whatsoever. They still gave us something that made sense. That kind of moment between the Doctor and Yaz definitely still made sense, and it definitely was long awaited and well deserved. So I think that much at least made sense. but then they just never actually got to reach the point that they so desperately wanted to reach, and both of them were afraid to make a move and just so hesitant, and the Doctor definitely leaned in, so oh boy, yeah, just the Doctor and Yaz, just good God, Tasman, when are you gonna canonize? When are you gonna canonize Tasman? Huh? When are you gonna do it? Just it's logical. It's just logic. It's just logic, and it's what everyone can see. So, or at least what most people can see. So, yeah. And it's easily one of the most I think it's easily unarguably like the most vulnerable the Doctor's actually been in that moment too. It's easily like the most vulnerable she's been, and I think to begin with she's afraid to be vulnerable because I think to begin with I think maybe one of her fears might also be talking to Yaz when she doesn't know what's going on. Like her biggest kind of fear and her biggest worry to begin with is that she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what division is. She doesn't know what the flux is. She doesn't know what's going to happen to the universe. Like she doesn't know who she is. Ever since because this carries on directly from the timeless child stuff. So she still doesn't know who she is, how much she's missing. Like there's so much about herself that she doesn't know. And I think deep down she wants so badly to open up to Yaz, to actually tell her everything, to tell her what she thinks. But then she doesn't know what to tell her. So then her only option after that is to then become cold and distant and to keep investigating, like to keep finding answers so that then she can actually share stuff with Yaz. But then to Yaz it doesn't really come off that way. Like to Yaz it's hugely misinterpreted, and she just thinks that the Doctor does know things, but then she's just not letting her in because she thinks it's too dangerous or whatever. So I think it's just like that again. That's just angst at its core. And then finally this finale too, like she actually finds stuff out, and she actually I'll be with the fob watch stuff. I'll probably I'll get to that soon. But I think at this point she's figured out enough, and she's actually kind of learned enough about herself that she can probably open up to Yaz, and that's when it was going to happen. She literally told Yaz, I want to tell you everything, I want to tell you so much. And then they actually Yaz had like the most hopeful, teary-eyed, doughy-eyed heart eyes I've ever seen her have in the entire run of her kind of time on the show and everything. So she was finally ready to actually have the Doctor open up and tell her everything, to actually stand there for like hours on end and actually listen to the Doctor telling her everything she's done, and to actually be connected to the Doctor in that way. Like they were both ready to connect to each other in that way, and to actually just be there listening and talking and doing stuff. And then, for fuck's sake, Dan, again, I love you, but I hate you so much as well in that one scene alone. Just, and, he walks up, right? He walks up, and I think he must have seen that they were in some kind of, closely knit kind of heartfelt conversation too. Like there was no way he didn't really look at them and think, oh, they're having like a bit of a moment together, and actually kind of they should probably leave alone with privacy. Like no, he's like, I demand instructions to my bedroom, and I demand them now. I mean, obviously not that aggressively or anything, but still he either can't read, or he just didn't really bother to read, or he just, I don't know, he just did something. But and especially with Dan too, I think again he would or at least should know just how long the Doctor and Yaz have waited to have like an actual to have some actual time to themselves. And don't tell me it's going to happen off screen. We deserve better than it happening off screen and then going into the next episode with Yaz knowing everything. Like, I want to see them talking. I want to see the Doctor sharing herself with Yaz like that, and Yaz learning who the Doctor is and actually being able to connect with her for the first time, possibly even in a long time. Like, we deserve to see that kind of story and that kind of character, kind of content taking place. We deserve to be able to see, the Doctor and a companion actually connecting in that way and actually learning about each other and actually understanding and everything, instead of it just being chalked up to, oh, it happened off screen, so now have like another laser blasting alien chasing adventure and everything. Because again, like the Doctor and the companion is like the relationship between the Doctor and the companion, whether it's platonic or romantic, like whatever it is. I mean, with this one it's clear which one it is, but whether it's platonic or romantic, the Doctor, like the relationship between from the very beginning, like the relationship between the Doctor and the companion has been what kind of fundamentally drives the Doctor's kind of motivations and the Doctor's kind of view of themselves and the view of the people around them and everything and stuff. And so only in like New Who from 9 onwards was there really any romance. And then even then it's like with the Doctor being a man and having female companions, they had no trouble pushing any kind of romance or any kind of love love story with them. 9 and Rose, 10 and Rose, with it continued, and the Doctor has also had plenty of successful friendships as well. Like saying the Doctor can have friendship with the companion too. We've had that before. It's not like we've been scarce of any friendships and we've been rife with romance or anything. Like we've had plenty of both. And but just at its core, that scene had I think that scene just had the potential to be like that one kind of emotionally connected kind of scene between the Doctor and Yaz, to actually be the one where she actually finally opens up. She finally gives Yaz what she wants, and Yaz actually does finally feel like the Doctor is seeing her again, actually hearing her, and actually wanting to notice her, and actually being like a part of her life again, actually letting Yaz be a part of hers. So God damn it. So yeah, that's just I think it just had it had very many layers to it, and that was just one of them. But they were totally about to kiss too. So that never happened. So then we had the Sontarans back again. The Sontarans came back, and they had a plan to take care of their enemies while they took control of the Earth and everything. So their plan was to actually move the Lupari shield, so then they could actually, the Daleks and Cybermen would actually be unifiedly, they would. So that then the Daleks and Cybermen would all be wiped out together by the Flux, and that would be the ultimate betrayal, actually taking out their enemies and all. I think potentially their most dangerous enemies too, because I think there are so many other there are so many other alien races out there that are equally or at least almost as dangerous as the Daleks and Cybermen. But then it's I think I feel like definitely the most they've done in reference to that, is definitely saying other planets have all been destroyed and taken out by the Flux and everything. So so they shut down the Flux, right? They put the Flux in prisoner. They put the Flux in prisoner, but then it's what happened to the rest of the universe? Because then the damage done by the Flux was never undone, was it? It's not like they reversed time or actually restored everything to what it was. Or I think, did they do that? Because otherwise, the universe is just as small as it was before, and then there are still many other missing planets and many other kind of destroyed galaxies and all that kind of stuff. So I think, because then the Doctor had Ood doing a bunch of stuff too, so I think Ood still helped out. Ood still did its own thing and everything, but I don't specifically remember any mention of undoing damage done by the Flux or even reversing what the Flux did. So I think it's like they stopped it, but then what happened to the rest of the universe? I think that means that there's still other people who are dead and other planets that are gone and other portions of the universe that are still been destroyed and everything. So it's the universe is still that much smaller than it originally was because of the Flux. So I have I don't even know. It's just it just feels weird. I think I think it just feels weird to think that they stopped the Flux and another day is saved, but then it's what about the things that the Flux already took? What about the people the Flux already took? So I don't know where they stand. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again to see exactly what they if they actually did reference that or mention that anyway, and just to see exactly what's been happening. So so I don't know. I do not know. But the Sontarans were there, so they had a much more prominent thing. So they were let in by Grand Serpent in the end. They actually managed to make a deal with Grand Serpent to actually come in and do their thing. So then he was working with them and then pretty much taken over all of the Earth and actually put the curfew back in place and actually begun their Sontaran occupation of the Earth and everything. So that was a whole thing. And I do wonder, because I think we had that one. I can't remember what his name was in the second episode, which was the Sontaran episode. I can't remember what his name was. At least I think it was the second episode. I'm pretty sure it was the second episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the second episode. I think that one with the Sontarans, I think there was that one commander dude that was there, and he was he wanted to ride a horse. He had a really specific thing about wanting to ride a horse. I think I'm wondering if that was the same guy we saw here. I think in this one, I think we actually got a name. I think it was Captain Shallow or something, or Captain Shallow or something. He raided the crap out of the corner store. He was clearing the shelves. He was having all the drinks, his specialty is, his sweet teeth actually found a certain attraction to chocolate, specifically chocolate. He was just engorged on chocolate, that is, I think, just almost what any person would do with unlimited and free access to chocolate in a corner shop, just absolutely gorging on it and just being in love with everything. So he wanted that chocolate. So it would, I think the chocolate was great, right? The chocolate was great. The chocolate was great. What would have made it even better was if they actually had him eating Japanese food. I think in episode 2, you know, with Dan mistaking temporal for tempura for Japanese food. I think I don't know what tempura actually is, but I think he mistook what they said for them wanting Japanese food. I think it would have been even better to actually have that guy in like a sushi restaurant or like some kind of restaurant eating Japanese food, or actually doing that kind of thing. Because I mean, they took over practically everything, so like their kind of access to buildings and their access to businesses would not be limited to corner shops. I mean, corner shops was actually their priority, and like the places they'd actually taken over the most. But then it would likely not be the only places they would man. Like they could easily, like with their numbers, with their weapons, with their strengths and everything, they would be able to take over pretty much anything. So the corner shops, I think, maybe the easiest place to film or something. But then I think it would have been cooler to actually to have that callback and have them actually eating in like an actual Japanese restaurant. So it's like, you know, well, Dan wasn't entirely wrong. We do love Japanese food, but it's just that, you know, like he still misheard us and thought we said tempura instead of temporal. So yeah, but still, hey, chocolate is like, I think chocolate is undeniably a bit more accessible and like slightly less expensive. So I think it's easier to pull off like an alien being in love with chocolate and being in love with candy and everything. So I think the way he was gorging on it, though, like the way his obsession just lit up when she offered him more chocolate, like in exchange for unlimited access for candy, and even the recipe to chocolate, so that he could make his own. And it's like at the end, his eyes just kind of just practically popping out of his socket too, just being like, you know, chocolate, like him actually over enunciating it to that degree, and just, oh god, just yeah, sometimes just aliens being in love with chocolate. I mean, chocolate, but also just Earth food in general. I guess just aliens being in love with Earth food is always like a sight to see in these kind of stories and stuff. So that was fun. And we said goodbye to Jericho. We said goodbye to Professor Jericho too. I think in the end, I think he was kind of trapped between sometimes and trapped between exits and everything, so he couldn't really kind of get to where he needed to go, one of the things. So again, there's a lot of different kind of aspects and little bits I'm actually going to need to go back and rewatch in this, both in and out of editing, to actually get like a proper grasp. But I think maybe honestly, just even watching this entire season over and over, like over again, like actually once over again, but this time maybe like this time with it being all available, it being actually binged and everything, so actually binging it like one night maybe, and just kind of seeing where it takes me and seeing how much more I actually catch from the beginning to the end and everything. So yeah, that should be fun. Yeah, Professor Jericho, he died too. And I think he gave himself up. He was more than willing to actually sacrifice himself, and I think he even actually gave off that kind of speech of like, you know, I've lived more like in life, you know, with like I've learned more in the past few years with you and Dan and Yaz and everything, compared to all the years he's been steeped in academia and actually doing his own research and his own work and everything. Like, he's had the adventure of a lifetime in the space of like 4 or 5 different years. So yeah, but Jericho was a badass. Jericho was amazing in this season, and I think I actually just found out, I honestly couldn't tell, because he looks so different. I think he just sounds, I think he intentionally so he looks and sounds very, very different, but he played, the actor for Jericho played Mr. Gibbs in Pirates of the Caribbean. He played Mr. Gibbs, and I think had I not Googled him, had I honestly not Googled the character, I never would have known that, because I think it said Kevin McNally, and then I looked at the actor and it's like, oh, he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, wait, who was he in Pirates of the Caribbean? And then I actually looked him up, and oh, like that revelation just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh damn, I honestly never would have known that had I not actually looked up the character and everything, because he did a great job actually, you know, making him who he was in this, and he was so, you know, again, intentionally unrecognizable from his Pirates counterpart and everything. So he was great in Caribbean, and he's equally great in this too. So Jericho was a badass. So like from the Weeping Angels episode, from his first episode to now, he's been nothing but a terrific ally. He's been a badass. He's been incredibly useful and intuitive, and he's been, you know, great at doing what he does, and he's been doing his best as he can, adapting and doing his part and everything. So he's been nothing if not brilliant and everything. So then his final sacrifice, and I think again his final sacrifice is one that he takes upon himself in pride and in an act of bravery and everything. Like, he knows what's about to happen, and he's more than willing to do it if it means that, because I think, you know, like there's just like really no point, no kind of space of rescue. But I think, you know, him not being alive wouldn't have saved the universe, but then he's still willing to kind of accept his fate, if that's what it means. So I think it was just that once on Taran too. So I think, you know, I don't know if he actually could have done it, if he could have tried something, and if he's still going to try something. I think I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch it again. So yeah, that's definitely going to happen. But yeah, he's been great. He was great. Jericho was absolutely great, and I think even Claire in the end actually mourning him. And I think I'm glad we got a reunion with him and Claire. I'm glad we actually got a reunion with him and Claire in this. So that much was good to see. That much was really good to see. And then in the end, even she mourns him, and then stuff happens. So yeah, but I think it's because they were both hooked up to that machine. I think it might have been one of them who actually did that final mental thrust that got the Sontarans the location and the time and all the coordinates they needed and everything. So then by that time they were both let go and everything. So then Jericho made it out, and then he got Claire to safety. He got Claire to safety. But then he himself never made it out. So he gave his life to save her and to save the universe and everything. So R.I.P. to Jericho. R.I.P. to Professor Jericho. So yeah, Carvanista. Poor Carvanista. I honestly my God, Carvanista went through this episode. Just one thing happened, and it was easily the most devastating thing. Like literally one bad thing happened to him, and it was easily the most devastating thing that he's ever really been through, and easily the most devastating thing he could have gone through. I swear to God, my mouth needs to learn to talk properly. But yeah, no, the Sontarans wiped out his people. I was wondering if it was going to be a case of like, oh, we left the shield in place, but then to begin with, I was wondering if the Sontaran leader was actually being serious or not, like to actually see if he actually did kill them off, or if he was just trying to rile Carvanista up and try and get him to do something, or to actually try and get him to fight back or something. And then in the end, he was like, no, like the longer he went on, and the look on Carvanista's face and the look on the doctor's face too, was like, oh God, this actually happened, didn't it? Like he's actually seriously wiped them all out. And then I was wondering, like, oh, like how did he do? Like did he bomb them all, or did he actually have Sontarans go onto each ship and actually taking out the Lupari one by one? And it's like, nope, they just opened up the airlock and let them all. I don't know if they actually just like hacked into the Lupari systems and then actually activate the airlock, like deactivate the airlock, and then let the Lupari float off into space, and they just froze in space and everything. It's just, and I mean, that's all the Lupari. That is genocide. That was genocide. Like the Sontarans, essentially. I mean, it likely is not the first time they've done that. They're a warrior race that is hell-bent on genocide and supremacy and everything, so it's not the first time, but that is essentially genocide. They literally took out every last one of the Lupari on those ships, and took out an entire race, and one is left standing. Carvanista is the one left standing. So like that is just, my God, the look on Carvanista's face. I think all of that stuff is meant to be prosthetics and or makeup and other stuff like that is a costume that the actor is wearing, and I think maybe at a push the only real thing there, the only actual still real aspect of the actual human actor there is the eyes, and he uses that to his full-on advantage. Like that kind of acting, trying to act depressed and sad, looking like dressed up as like a humanoid dog is got to be one of the most kind of challenging things that the show's ever done, and an actor on the show's ever done. So actually, we've had different actors dressed up as actual kind of alien animals in the past too. It's not the first time, but then still, I think he did puppy dog eyes without doing puppy dog eyes. He essentially did puppy dog eyes without doing puppy dog eyes. I think puppy dog eyes in general, like, because dogs' eyes are so different. It's like it looks so much like bigger and wider and so much more doggy. But with this one, it's like, he's a humanoid dog and stuff. So he just stands there like wide-eyed with the most kind of emotionally drained and just kind of like devastated eyes ever. Like, and it's just still so doggy yet so human. It's so canine and so human. It's so canine and so human. It's just like just some of the biggest stuff I've ever seen, and it's just so, it pulls you in and makes you devastated too. Like, you actually feel for him. You really, really feel for him. Like, knowing he's just lost all of his people at the hands of Sontarans, and then he goes from devastated to, antagonized to hell and back in the space of like 5 minutes. In the space, in the space of actually hearing that news, in the space of 5 minutes, he goes from devastated to, I am going to take out every last Sontaran if it's the last thing I ever do with my life. And that's on that. So, yeah, poor Carvanista, poor freaking Carvanista. And again, that's the that wasn't to do with the Flux. I was gonna say, again, that's the kind of thing that the Flux would need to undo. But then that wasn't the Flux. That was not as automatic as the Flux. That was manually done by the Sontarans themselves. So that's them. But he got his revenge. He moved. He used his own understanding, his own natural understanding of the Lupari tech, and he moved the shield, and he took out the Sontarans. He took good boy Carvanista, he took out the Sontarans, and he did it for his people. He got vengeance, and he got justice for his people. He actually took out every last one of the Sontaran ships that were there and everything. So that was really cool too. That was really cool too. So he got justice in the end. He got justice in that very same episode. He managed to get justice too. So yeah, I mean, there's another point I kind of want to explore, but I'm not really sure how to go about it. So if I remember at the end, then I'll say it then. If I don't, then I guess you'll probably never hear it again. But or maybe just hear it at a much later time. But either way, he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted, so that was cool. And we even got some history to Carvanista and the Doctor too. We actually got some really good history. He was a devoted companion. He said it himself. There was a time when he would have done anything for her, and I mean, likelihood is that is based on him actually having done anything for her in the past, like him actually having traveled with her, and him actually having done stuff, and them two having dodged death and defied death and lived through hell and back, as most, if not all, companions usually do with the Doctor. So I think, you know, he was a fully devoted companion, and then in the end, you know, I mean, he was taken by Division 2 because he had a literal poison bomb in his neck. I thought they must have actually suicide squatted him and actually put like a bomb in his neck. And if he actually did something, if he did anything against Division, then then that would thing. So I think, I mean, it must be voice activated. Then it has to be voice activated because I think now Tech-Tayuna's gone, and pretty much any leadership that the Division had before is gone too. So because of that, there's no one left running Division. There's no one left there to actually stop him. So I think it must be like a voice command activated kind of chip thing in his actual head too. So I think if he actually does carry out a sentence with the word Division mission in it, then maybe that's when things happen. Or if he actually kind of says something that, I mean, if he says something that sounds eerie to the chip, then the chip actually has to activate or something. So it has to be voice activated or Division kind of activated in some way. So there's that. So that could be the only explanation, because then I feel like they should have established that with the Doctor saying, like, you know, Tech-Tayun is dead now. Any leadership that the Division had is now gone. Like, so now you can actually talk freely. But then he probably then could have confirmed that, you know, oh no, I'd like this thing is voice activated. So if I actually say anything that sounds eerily like Division secrets, or if I sound like I'm exposing them, then it's voice activated. So then it will go off automatically that way. So he really can't risk anything. But then that's why he literally physically could not talk about Division without actually risking his own life. So yeah, but he was a devoted companion of hers, or at least of the fugitive Doctor, he was a devoted companion of the fugitive Doctors. So one of these days I can actually get to a sentence without stuttering. So that would be the day. But yeah, no, so he did that. So then, but then the way that their time together ended too, I think he was taken by Division to have that thing put in his neck, and then she was taken away, and she had her memories taken away too. So she had her memories taken away, and then she was actually thrown back into the universe to do whatever she wanted after that. So then she literally had no idea who he was, and she had no idea what Division was, and completely forgot about them as a whole. So then, but then he never knew that. So then he just felt like, you know, she was taken by them, and then and then she abandoned him in the end, and then he was left scouring the universe with his people for years after that. So yeah, I think again it took place back in the time of the Fugitive Doctor, which we know must have happened before the first Doctor, and that was years ago. That was millennia ago. So it could have easily been like a millennia ago, or at least like a few centuries ago. So like he's gone years not only without the Doctor, but also thinking that the Doctor abandoned him, and then all of a sudden, like you know, God knows how many regenerations down the line, she comes waltzing back into his life and barges in, asking questions and doing all this stuff, and then deep down, he knows. I think once he finds out that she's the Doctor, he then knows he knows who she is, but then he still can't really address it. Like he on the one hand, he's still annoyed with the way that things ended. He's still annoyed thinking that she kind of left him behind and everything. But then on the other hand, it's like, you know, he knows that he like, given why she's there, he also can't actually he can't engage in any kind of conversation with her, because then the one thing she wants to talk about is the one thing that will actually literally get him killed. So yeah, history with the Doctor and Carvanista, definitely some history between them two. So I mean, I was really hoping, like, for that reason we could at least get a glimpse of what's in the fob watch. But then I don't know. I think I don't know. Just yeah, no. I'll get to the fob watch soon. But yeah, Carvanista and the Doctor. And then we had Kate back. Kate came back. Kate definitely came back, and We didn't necessarily, I mean, we didn't specifically get Kate and Yaz and the Doctor in that kind of trio format that I actually kind of hoped for, but I think we still got like a fair enough amount of her. She still did like a fair bit, especially up towards the end, like her actually helping Vinda take down the Grand Serpent once and for all and everything. So that was the thing. And the Grand Serpent, yeah, he was a little piece of shit the entire episode. So there was that, but then yeah, she was in this and she did her piece, and stuff, and yeah, I think she called herself, I think I remember, I think I've gotten like one word wrong because I can't remember exactly what she named it as, but I think I got one word wrong, the one after human. But I think what I've written it down as is human resistance against Sontaran occupations. I think there was actually like some other word instead of resistance. I know that much. I know it was actually another word, but I think conceptually it still followed like it is meant to be resistance. So I think she was that. So I think with time having changed in this way once again, like, you know, like I think maybe Unit is no more, or Unit has kind of crumbled, or maybe Unit has transformed itself into this new kind of resistance force, or at least what's left of Unit after the Grand Serpent's kind of infiltration and, you know, destruction has been transformed into this resistance force. I mean, we never saw the resistance. I think that was the only thing we got. Like, we only ever heard that that such a resistance force existed. Like we only ever heard about it, but then and it was like a name drop from Kate. But then Kate was the only member we ever saw. So whether or not she was a member, or whether or not she was the leader that was representing them, or what happened, we don't know. But like, she only ever name dropped them. We never actually saw them. We never got taken to some kind of a base where they were doing stuff, or, you know, I mean, we don't even know for sure. We don't even know for sure if it was that extensive or if it was actually something even more minimal with like a cool, just with like a effective name or something. But either way, she was a member of the human resistance against Sontaran occupations, and that was a thing. And yeah, in the end, she still helped. She still did her own piece, and I think even her actually being able to actually bond even momentarily with the Doctor's new regeneration too. Even her saying like, you know, I like this regeneration. I think I'm hoping I'll actually get to meet it again sometime. So yeah, give me more Kate and 13. Give me Kate in the specials, in the special episodes coming up. Give me more Kate and 13. And give me more of them hanging out. So yeah, that will be really fun. That will be very, very fun. So Kate Stewart, give me more Kate Stewart any day. Give me more Kate Stewart any day of the week. Kate Stewart and the Doctor and Yaz. Give me that trio. Just at some point, I need that trio. You know, Dan and whoever else they decide to have on, even for an episode, being in trouble. Give me like them being in trouble, and then the Doctor and Yaz and Kate all having to team up, and Charlie's Angel the crap out of this, out of that episode, and then them actually being like an unstoppable trio and doing their thing. That would be, give it to me. Just inject it into my arms, my veins, just everything. But yeah, Kate was still, you know, effective in this episode. She was still effective, so it was cool seeing her around here. So yeah, more Kate Stewart, please, and thank you. Swarm and Azure, that happened. So they wanted endless looped destruction. They wanted the Doctor to suffer. They wanted her to suffer, like actually watching the universe die over and over again. I think that was the most sadistic thing that they wanted to do, like actually watching them die over and over again, like actually watching her suffer. Like, their powers know no bounds, and they, you know, they visited the Doctor's memories with her in the fob watch and everything, and even saw him actually disintegrating that weird, freaky-looking house over and over again. Actually, so he can actually rebuild too. He can destroy, and he can rebuild. He even did it to the Doctor at one point too. I think that one kind of shocked me, that he actually disintegrated the Doctor at one point, but then actually reformed her too. So he can destroy and he can recreate, but then for him, it's not recreation for anything that's actually beneficial. He just he again like his years in imprisonment and years in torture at the hands of the future Doctor have made him vengeful, and it's made Azure vengeful. So they both just want to watch the people who have done that to them suffer. He like they just want to make them suffer, and they want to watch them suffer and actually watch them go through the exact same thing. So he wanted the universe to destroy and to burn and to make the Doctor watch as it happened over and over again too. So they had control of the Flux in that way. So yeah, Swarm and Azure have easily been like one of the best villains that we've had in all of New Who, like in terms of actual kind of character, kind of, you know, like motivation and drive, and their kind of evilness and their kind of presence in like an actual series or even in like an episode. They've easily been some of the most intimidating villains we've ever had. So it was really, really cool seeing them progress throughout the thing. And I think they're not dead, are they? I think I'm pretty sure like they're not dead, because I think the way that time actually worded it in the end made me wonder, like, if it was actually punishing them, or if it was actually just kind of doing, because then he said, like, it said, you know, I still have to try and reward you for your failure. He specifically mentioned failure, so, you know, I really don't know if it actually if it actually was punishing him, because then even then, like, when the whole kind of time mist thing happened to Swarm and Azure, like Azure was like ascension, so it was like they were actually being taken to further heights and being granted more power or something, but then they disappeared, and then that was all that happened. So don't know if they were misled, or if they actually thought they were going somewhere good, but then it turned out they weren't, or something, or if they actually were being punished or something. But yeah, it took them away. It took Swarm and Azure away. So I mean, chances are we'll probably see them. I think because of that, because there was no direct or obvious sign that they were actually being killed, chances are they actually were taken away to greater heights, or taken away to somewhere where they'd be safer or more powerful. So then chances are we actually might see them maybe sometime in the future, or maybe we'll just have to kind of go by for now, knowing that they're not dead, they're still out there somewhere, they're still doing their thing, but they're gone for now, they're gone, and they're safe and away from our universe for now, so there's that resolution. But yeah, no, Swarm and Azure, I think, you know, I mean, yeah, like, I think they got as far as they actually needed to go. Because they got almost everything they wanted. They actually got. So it's not like they achieved absolutely nothing in their run on the season. But you know, still, like, for their ending, it still feels like, you know, they still tried to reach their end game, and then it's like it's not really clear. At least to me, it's not really clear as to whether they failed or succeeded, or if they actually did manage to accomplish something. But you know, for the most part, they did still manage to actually destroy some things and destroy some people, so it still worked out in their favor in that way. But yeah, no, Swarm and Azure have been really great. They've actually been really, really fun. We never found out what was at Azure's beginning. Like Azure's introduction was her in like a human disguise with another guy who died immediately, and then like she was living like some kind of cover life out in the Arctic. So we never really got like an answer as to how she ended up there, or how like what happened to her that they ended up there. Like, no real backstory was given for them. I think besides from the episode with the fugitive doctor, besides from that, like, one final division mission, which was them in their younger bodies with like different makeup and everything, and them being captured by the doctor and Vanessa and everything. Besides from that, no real backstory was really given to them, like who they are, where they come from, what they did, exactly what they did, besides from messing with time in the Temple of Atropos, that actually got them in this kind of situation, and exactly what pushed them to be villains. I think they were great villains, and they were really enjoyable villains, but no real backstory. I think no real backstory that I really noticed, or really kind of actually absorbed, was really given to them. So, you know, it's like that kind of thing. Like, exactly. I think maybe that kind of information could have easily been in there in the fob watch too. Like, those memories could have easily been in the fob watch, and it's like, you know, because I think it was the final mission the Doctor did, but then that means that it was not the only mission. So then I think there could have been numerous other missions in the past where they tried and failed to catch Swarm and Azure, and they actually it was some kind of like a goose chase where the Doctor would recruit various different teams to try and track them down and hunt them down and try and take them in, but they would escape each time. But then this final mission was the one where they actually succeeded in there, and then they actually got Swarm and Azure back in. So I think those memories must be in the fob watch too, like her remembering exactly what she did to them, exactly what they mean to her, and exactly who Swarm and Azure are, besides from being the Ravagers. You know, like, that kind of information could have been in the fob watch, so I feel like we maybe missed out on it temporarily, or at least for now. Maybe in the future we'll actually have like another look at it, but I don't know. I guess we'll actually find out. I guess we'll actually have to wait and find out. So yeah. So time took Swarm and Azure. It took Swarm and Azure, so they're gone. But then time is also, I think, reflective of I think maybe also because Azure had the fob watch. But then Swarm was the one whose appearance that Time took on. So Time actually reflected Swarm's appearance. But then after the Doctor, actually, so that, I think it's got like next to nothing to do with who's actually got the fob watch, but then just who's actually more prominent, or who's actually in control of Time, or who's actually interacting with Time the most. But Time has no physical embodiment of its own. It's just like it's literally just like, it's not even a ball. It didn't even start off as a ball. It literally actually started off as a mist. I'm kind of disappointed that time itself didn't start off as like a big ball of wibbly wobbly stuff. Like it was actually more like an actual kind of deformed and like formless kind of mist that spread anywhere and everywhere, and then it actually started to twirl into like a body and everything. So kind of annoyed it didn't start off into a ball, but still we can't can't have everything, as proven. But no, so then it actually took on it took on the Doctor's appearance, but then it did the same thing it did in the actual Planet Time episode. It actually it took on 13's appearance, but then it was wearing that same dark blue coat instead, like same coat, different color, the same like kind of dark blue coat she wore in the Memories episode. And in that one she was actually being put in that one she had actually memory wise taken the place of the future Doctor, who actually has like an actual dark navy kind of coat of her own, in her own style and everything. So yeah, so this one actually had like a different coloured coat and everything. So yeah, I think that must have been at least somewhat symbolic to who to actually like what version of her, even of 13, like what version of 13 it was actually portraying and everything. So yeah, then came the speech. Then came the acknowledgement that 13's time is coming to an end. Even Time saying like your time is coming to an end now, and like nothing lasts forever, and now it's coming to an end. So I think I did not want to hear that. I did not come here to hear more confirmation about how 13 is over soon and now the regeneration is coming. I did not come here to hear that. I did not come here to hear that. So that was like a little bit hurtful and uncalled for, but still, it happened. But it gives off the same vibes. It gives off the same vibes as back when Tennant was regenerating. I think it was in the Mars episode. That woman on the bus actually said, he will knock 4 times, like the same vibe of like that kind of ominous kind of warning that comes beforehand from someone. But I mean, with that one, it was like that woman who was kind of clairvoyant-ish, and then she said, he will knock 4 times, and it actually happened. So that was like the first kind of sign. But with this one, it's actually like a kind of semi-celestial kind of force of nature, such as time, actually telling the Doctor, your time is coming to an end now, and it's going to catch up with you, so you better be ready when stuff happens. But then it also mentioned no regenerations. It said no regeneration, no new life, nothing like that. So I don't know what they mean by that, because then the Doctor is the timeless child. She is where regeneration comes from. It's literally baked into her DNA. Regeneration like originates with her, and then the rest of Gallifrey got us, and then she is where it comes from. So telling her, the one who actually started off with actual telling the person who started off with regeneration, telling the person who started off with regeneration that she gets no regenerations is kind of like a contradictory thing, because I think it worked with Matt Smith. It worked with 11, because they get like none of the Doctors before her knew that they were the timeless child. Like they had no idea what their past was before the first Doctor. They had no idea that kind of history existed. So like they were all kind of going along with the kind of knowledge that they would get like I think like 11 or 12 like regenerations with them, or 11 regenerations, and that they would actually get like, I think 11 or 12. I think that they would actually get like 11 faces or 11 regenerations or something along that line. They all went along with the understanding that they would get like a limited number of lives to live in the span of centuries or however long they actually decided to live. So because of that, they had no idea what this was. But then actually now we know that the Doctor is the timeless child. Like she's the one with the endless like eternal life. She can regenerate as many times as she wants, and she can do all this kind of stuff. So then telling her that she gets no regenerations is kind of like a actually, hold on a minute, I know that's not true because of what the timeless child revealed to us. So I think you're a bit wrong on that side, Time. But I don't know, maybe they'll pull like another twist and be like, what, no, now is your, regardless of what you remember or don't remember, now like you've lived long enough, you have actively lived long enough, or like regardless of if you can only remember some of it, then it's still, you've lived long enough, you've lived for years and years and years, so now it's time for you to come to an end now. So now, so yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think like how that's gonna go. But now she's been given that warning that her time is coming to an end, and that her death is coming, and then that her end is coming. So it was bad. It's bad enough. It was bad enough thinking that was some kind of a warning that she's gonna regenerate again. But then actually being told that she gets no regenerations and no new lives is a bit more of like a kind of mind-boggling thing. So don't know exactly where that's gonna lead, but I'm sure it's going to lead somewhere. So yeah, and again, I still didn't need that reminder. I still did not need that reminder. I am here to enjoy 13's time while she lasts, without having to think about the next Doctor. I'm here to enjoy her while she lasts, without having to think about the fact that she's going to regenerate soon, the fact that we're going to get a new Doctor next year at some point. So I want to focus on 13. I want to focus on Jodie Whittaker, and Jodie is 13. So no reminders. I do not want to be reminded that we're about to lose her soon. So no, just no. And going back to reunions too, I only spoke about Thasmin. I only spoke extensively about Thasmin to begin with, but we had other reunions too. I think Belle and Vinda, they finally got reunited. Belle and Vinda, that was an equally long-awaited one, and that was beautiful to watch too, though both of them, after, God knows how long of actually trying to look for each other, they finally got reunited on the TARDIS and everything, so they were good. And then Vinda finding out that he was a dad, he was expecting, and he was going to have a beautiful baby with Belle too. So I think Tigme is the actual name. I think Tigme is like the device. I think that's actually like an actual baby monitor that she actually has strapped onto her thing too. So I think that's really, really cool. But I think Tigme also. I mean, I feel like more like, I think she could easily be naming the baby monitor too, because I think that's how she communicates. But then Tigme could also because she's talking to the baby, Tigme can also very easily be the name of the actual baby too. So yeah, Belle and Vinda were reunited, and then by the end of it, they were actually back on Carbonesis' ship. So then they're actually going to travel with him. I think that would make an awesome, like, Vinda could be Han Solo, and Carbonista could be Chewie, and then you got Belle being Princess Leia. I think you got like an Essential Force family. That you got an Essential Force family. I think the baby could easily be a Ben Solo that doesn't turn into, like a puppet of the Galactic Empire and everything. So you could easily have like a baby Kylo Ren, and then Carbonista could be like a Carbonista would make a hell of an nanny. I firmly believe Carbonista would make one hell of an nanny. He'd be reluctant at first because he wants to travel alone. He doesn't want guests on his ship, but then he actually starts to get to know this family, and he actually starts to fall in love with them. And he's going, God damn it, I love you humans. Just stop making me all soft and sappy. So then he eventually falls in love with them, and then he actually eventually does become a nanny for the baby, and then anything they need, he's there for them, and he's taking them to all new planets to try and find a home and everything. So like I'm fully there for that family, Belle, Vinda, Carmenista, and Tigme. Like that is a family right there. That is an actual space family right there. That would be awesome. So yeah, I really hope we hear more about them. I want to say I hope we get a spin-off, but I think that feels unlikely. It feels unlikely, but I think I'm hoping we actually hear more about them, and we hear that they're doing well in the future and still getting up to trouble and everything. So that would be fun to see. But we had that reunion. We had Diane and Dan too. Diane and Dan, and they have been through some shit. They have actually been through some shit in the season, to the point where by the end of it, Diane isn't really too keen on really going out for anything, because I think she has been through hell and back. I think from the first episode she was kidnapped by Swarm and Azure, and then since then she's been trapped in like a prisoner body, and she's been going through endless kind of landscapes and all these different things. And even Dan having been with other people, Dan has still gone through his own stuff too. So I think she kind of made like a smart decision of being like, for now I think we should just kind of, not really completely cease interaction, but I think for now we could just kind of like put the drink stuff and dating stuff on like a hold, and actually try and take time to at least Dan, because I think Dan is now just going straight back with the Doctor. He's jumping straight back into the action with the Doctor, but and so now I think he's becoming a full-time companion, which is really, really cool. So there's that. But with Diane, I think she just needs time. She has been imprisoned and trapped for, weeks and stuff. So she needs time to... And she's seen some stuff too. She's actually seen some stuff in that time she's been trapped. So she needs to take some time off to actually process what's happened. So... yeah, not really much of like an actual romantic resolution for them, but just more of like an actual personal resolution of both of them actually understanding that they need to take time off and actually need to kind of separate for a little bit and actually kind of think about things and see where things are headed and actually process what they've been through. But then in Dan's case, processing means jumping right back into the fray with the Doctor and Yaz and doing their own thing. So yeah, Diane and the Doctor, Diane and Dan. So yeah, but I mean, Diane was awesome in this episode. Diane was awesome. She had been investigating her time, like the entire time she'd been inside the prisoner body. She'd been investigating. She investigated the force fields and the landscapes and the systems and everything. So she'd been actually doing her piece and actually picking things up, picking up information. Actually, working with Vinda to escape and everything. So she'd actually done bits. She'd actually done her piece and been very, very useful and integral to their escape plan. So hats off to her. But yeah, those are the reunions. Those were the other reunions that happened, so that was really, really fun. That was really cool. So yeah, the fob watch. The fob watch. So the Doctor got rid of it in the end. I mean, well, kind of got rid of it, and it's still there. She didn't destroy it or anything. She didn't, I mean, I don't know if you can destroy a Gallifreyan fob watch, but she didn't destroy it. She didn't destroy it. She just kind of threw it down like a little chute in the... like a little kind of, I don't know what kind of chute it was meant to be, like if it was actually meant to be like an actual garbage chute or something, but it was actually like, there was like another kind of ball thing that she took out, put back in again, so it's clearly like an actual control piece in the console, but then it doubles as like some kind of like a garbage chute, so there's that. But yeah, but she put it in down the chute, pondered it for a bit, but then, and she even actually spoke to the TARDIS saying like, you know, like hide this somewhere deep in the TARDIS that I can never find. And then after she actually dropped in, put the ball back in, she said, until I actually really unless I really need it, or like unless I really, really badly ask for it or something. So I think, you know, like I think it's like, you know, with her, you know, I feel like, you know, maybe it's like, you know, with her, I think she knows. I think it's like this entire season as well is based off of like stuff that the Division have done, especially in regards to Swarm and Azure. Swarm and Azure suffered at the hands of Division and at the hands of the Doctor, so like they've suffered at the hands of them both, and so they, because of that, they then, once they were both free, they wreaked havoc across the universe, and they kind of, you know, kidnapped people and killed people, and they actually did some terrible things in the name of their in the name of their vengeance against Division. So I think, you know, like that thing, her memories might even involve and like cold stuff that she did against them that they believe that they were wronged by. Because then I think, you know, there's really no telling who exactly who she could have been in that time, and so like there's no guarantee she could have been like a good or ethical person. She could have easily been like there could easily be a version of the Doctor. There could easily be a version of the Doctor out there that's like the Punisher, like in one of her previous lives, working for Division, especially like if she did work for Division, especially like there's no telling exactly what she would have done for them or exactly what they would have asked her to do. Like they could have easily asked her to do some really kind of messed up things. I think, you know, like her memories, as important as it is to her to actually find out who she is, I think it's like, you know, I think maybe at this point it's like a bigger part of her is questioning, A, does she really need to know who she used to be, and B, like, you know, is it gonna provide any clarity on, like, is it just gonna fit, is it gonna fill in the blanks, and or is it gonna actually provide some clarity on who she is going forward? Because I think she's always known who she is, but then who she was, like now, knowing that she's a timeless child and actually knowing that she had like lives that she's missed out on for years on end, like now, like that kind of that's definitely changed things. But then it's like, you know, would she use this information to fill in the blanks and find out who she was, or would she try and use it to actually push herself forward and actually try and actually be a different person from here on out? Because like to herself, it doesn't change who she is, but it just kind of like reminds her of who she was. And then like, does she really need that reminder, or does she actually want to go forward still being the Doctor? Because then even in this episode, like, you know, that kind of discussion with Azure too, like Azure being like, you know, death and destruction and ending is what's important to them. Like they want to watch things burn, they want to watch things be destroyed, and that's what's important to Swarm and Azure. But then to the Doctor, the polar opposite of existence is what's actually important to her. Like she enjoys watching species and races kind of thrive and create and be born and to actually do things like she enjoys watching the universe and all of the life inside of it being created and thriving and flourishing and blossoming and discovering and creating new things, and she enjoys the kind of the beauty of life in and of itself, and that's why she does what she does. That's why she travels the universe, actually saving people and actually vanquishing threats, and, you know, setting an example of the right thing to do and the important thing to do and everything. Like she prides herself on that. So that's why she calls herself the Doctor too. Like she heals, she saves, she corrects, she actually goes around learning different things and meeting people and having an impact in that way. So, you know, like the timeless child is just who she was, and, you know, all those lives before her, like, you know, I think it's also clearly like you know, I mean, we call her the fugitive Doctor because that's what she was. Like, she was a fugitive of the Time Lords and a fugitive of the Jadoon. So, you know, but, you know, and I mean, to be fair, she did call herself the Doctor back then too. So I think, you know, easily, I think the fugitive Doctor could easily also just be like a more kind of a more judgmental and like slightly less ethical version of the Doctor. Because I think she used a gun. She actually had a gun, so she used to use a gun. So, and she used to work with Division too. So I think there's no telling exactly what kind of missions she would have undertaken for the Division in the name of peace and justice and whatever. So there's no telling what she would have done. But I think, you know, I think for the Doctor, I think it's like it's been well established already that, you know, like what's important for her is to actually be able to move forward with a strong enough conviction of who she is and a strong enough understanding of who she is, and she already has that. So, you know, and I think the fact that they didn't destroy it, the fact that they kind of pushed it aside for now, the fact that they didn't destroy the fob watch or get rid of it in a way that's completely kind of irreparable is a key, and is like an actual key kind of indicator to the fact that, you know, it may well show up in the future. It can easily show up in the future at some point, actually, and then like maybe like a future Doctor could easily find it and then open it up and see exactly who they were before and see what kind of secrets that the fob watch holds. But for 13, she wants to move forward. She wants to move forward with Yaz and Dan. She wants to move forward with her life, with her companions, with her life, and, you know, what time she has left and everything. So she you know, I think she is finally in it, like, over the course of finding out all this information in this season, over the course of this entire season of drama and secrets and mysteries being unveiled and everything, she's finally come to the conclusion that, you know, she does not need to kind of hold Division secrets for them anymore. She doesn't doesn't need to actually still keep wondering exactly what Division is, or to actually still keep she doesn't need to keep letting Division have this kind of like a mystical kind of mental hold over her. So she finally wants to let all of that go, and to, you know, because now Division is gone, like, you know, I think probably the base is gone too, or hopefully the Ood is safe and sound, but or maybe the base is still up there, we don't know for sure yet, but now Division is gone, like anyone who ran Division before is gone too, so I think that, like, the leadership is gone, so no one's really running Division anymore, and probably Ood is up there just kind of maintaining things and keeping things in check and everything, so Ood can definitely be trusted, but Division is now gone, so there's no one else left to worry about. I mean, I do wonder if they made any other enemies besides from Storm and Azure, because then they kind of did kind of mentioned having done other missions and other kind of stuff throughout time, so I think it's kind of hard to believe that they wouldn't have made that they wouldn't have made any other enemies throughout time or throughout history, but I guess only time will tell on that front. But yeah, I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So yeah, I think that's easily the biggest indicator that it's not the last we'll probably see of the fob watch. But for now, the Doctor is happy being the Doctor. She's happy, like, moving forward and like not stressing or not really kind of obsessing over the past of who she was anymore. Like, now she knows who she is. Now she knows who she wants. Like she knows who she is. She knows who she wants to be, and she knows that, you know, she wants Dan and Yaz, and she wants to keep traveling with them and keep experiencing new things with them. So I mean, some people might still kind of find a problem with that. I can definitely kind of see why, but me personally, I'm pretty content with the way that things went with the fob watch and with the way that kind of resolution happened. So I'm pretty kind of content with how they decided to move forward with that thing. So, you know, and again, like, for me, it's like, you know, I'm, you know, trusting that her only throwing it away means that it could easily come back in the future at some point. And she's been, as 11, we literally had a episode where they journey to the center of the TARDIS. I think, you know, like, I think she did say, like, somewhere deep in the heart of the TARDIS where I can never find it unless I really want it. So again, that isn't like a key that in the future at some point they will revisit that story, they will revisit that fob watch, and maybe a future Doctor will actually stumble across it and actually find it again. So, you know, gone for now, but probably be back soon enough at some point. So yeah, so onwards with more and newer kind of journeys for 13. I think now, maybe just now, I think, I mean, I don't know if they're fully done with the Timeless Child stuff, because again, it, like, we haven't really kind of gotten the answer. We haven't, I mean, I think they might be done. I think, again, like, the Timeless Child stuff, because her previous memories are also within that thing. I think that the Timeless Child storyline might also be put on a bit of a hold until then, because again, like the memories of her being the Timeless Child are still locked away in that fob watch. So then, because of that, I think now we're kind of putting, like, this chapter of the Timeless Child story has reached an end, and now going forward into specials we'll have something new probably each time and each episode. So because of that, I think, you know, it's going to be like held off and postponed until then. So yeah, but yeah, but I think what we've had so far and how it ended now has still been pretty great to watch. So I still really enjoyed that. It was still really great. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. I've been recording for about 3 hours, so I think it's been like quite a hell of a video. I mean, even the episode itself is like an hour long, so there's that. But yeah, this has been a great finale. This has been like a really enjoyable finale. Not without, I think the season alone has not been without its flaws. I think, again, like, you know, like Belle and Vinda, like I think I really wish we had so much more of them. I really wish, like I think even when they were apart, I really wish we had like so much more of them. Which is why I think they could have easily gone for like an actual 10 episode season and still made things work and actually fleshed things out so much better. But some stuff, like a lot of what they did great, they did really, really great. Like a lot of what like worked actually worked really, really well. So they did many things great in this season, but other stuff could have easily gone on for longer, and they could have easily actually, you know, given us more of it to actually flesh it out a bit more and to actually give us more screen time. But overall, still a great season, an absolute banger of a season, absolute great season. You know, and proof that they still know what they're doing, and they can actually still make some really, really great stuff. So I can't wait for the actual New Year special and see what that's all about, and see who's in it and what the story is going to be like there. So I can't wait for that one. But Doctor Who Flux has been great, and even actually having it subtitled as Flux and actually having it kind of incorporate the Flux so well has been really, really fun to watch. So it's been interesting to watch in that format too, of it actually like of it surrounding a storyline so kind of heavily that it actually names itself after said event too. So that's been really fun. My brain is fried right now with a lot of different thoughts, so I need to, you know, actually wrap this up and go, you know, convert this and edit it, and then hopefully have it up. Hopefully have it up tomorrow, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Hope you guys have enjoyed this entire season. Like, let me know what your thoughts are on this season, and how you've enjoyed it, and how you've kind of been processing things, and how you've been consuming it as it's gone along week by week, and what your thoughts are, and what you liked, and even what you didn't like, and what you thought could have gone better, and any other kind of thoughts you have on this season, and how you felt. But yeah, for now, that is it. Those are all my initial thoughts. Those are all my initial kind of first viewing kind of thoughts. So without a doubt, stuff I've missed out on. Stuff I've missed out on and forgotten on, and stuff that I need to actually rewatch to get a proper grasp on. So rewatch it, I most certainly will. Rewatch I will. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is from me for now. So that was Doctor Who Flux, episode number 6, the finale. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and of this entire season, and what your thoughts on Flux were, and how you felt about this being as short as it was, and how compact it was, and how you think it could have fared in being like a longer season, and if you would have liked it to be a longer season, and any thoughts you have on Flux whatsoever, and all the stuff that happened in it. Once again, full-length reaction over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is pretty much all there is from me for now. So yeah, that is it. So I will see you next time.